Hi, happy Thursday.
Hi, everyone. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, I know. It's Sunday. So all you dads out there that have forgot, it's Sunday. Not that I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of men watching our videos. Probably not, but maybe a few, right?
You never know.
Yeah, exactly, right? They're like, what is this going on here? And then they're like, oh, I don't want to hear about that. Right? How are you guys today? It's, Thursday, and it's snowing in Denver.
Yeah, I'm really over it.
Yeah, we're super
Happy May.
May, right? Somebody did post that. I guess it snowed the last 3 years right before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
I think we just forget, right?
Yeah. Well, this is my first May in Denver.
Okay,
so
never mind. It's my second. And so I don't know. Yeah, right? So, well, it is what it is. It'll melt tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Quick reminder in case you forgot, Dr. Ashley DeBoer from Rise Chiropractic and Dr. Krystyna Holland from Inclusive Care.
Yes.
And today we are talking about, hi Maya, we're talking about Meghan Markle and whether or not she is a birth brat. So
right.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So like I put on mine, I said, sign me up to be a birth brat,
100%.
right? Yeah, so I'm sure you have all heard that there's a new royal baby. And I'm sure that you've all heard that she is apparently a birth brat, which I didn't even know was a term until I saw that.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to guess it's probably a man that said that she's a birth brat. But not always true, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in reading some of the articles, what I noticed as far as being a birth brat, right, is just all basic things that a mom should get to choose,
right,
that she wants in her delivery. So I think some of the stuff that was pointed out was that, oh, heaven forbid she didn't want to step out hours after delivery with her baby and be like
on the steps of a hospital.
Right. That was one thing. Though she did yesterday, right?
Yeah.
She stepped out and looked amazing, way more amazing than I did, whatever she is, 48, 72 hours postpartum. But that's what happens when you have a glam squad.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So she still did it, right? So she didn't step out immediately. So I was like, kudos to her for making that choice. And then I was still kind of a little bit upset that she even would be put in that position to have to get all beautified to step out and show her baby. I know it's their tradition, but it's just a really weird tradition, right?
Yeah, well, and the other things were that she didn't originally she wanted to birth at home instead of in the hospital, with all of the Queen's doctors, OBs and stuff. Right. And I think that what I read was that
Finley is crawling on the floor. So Finley, you're kicking the stuff. Stop.
People were just upset that it was breaking from tradition. But the fact of the matter is that I think moms get to have birth wishes and desires, and they should be able to
pick their providers.
Yeah.
Because that was the one thing too. She was like, I want a female doctor.
Yeah. She wanted a female doctor. She wanted to have a doula. She was hoping to have a home birth. I don't know that anyone knows if that actually happened. Right. It really doesn't matter.
No.
It's not about, it should be about what she wanted.
Right. Yeah. And I think it was quoted, I don't know if she said it or they were just alluding to her saying, but she didn't want men in suits.
Yeah.
Which is her right? It's just so weird that they would even question that. And then what was even more horrible, which now he's saying he was taken out of context. I was, of course, not at the OBGYN conference, but a male OBGYN was saying that she was going to birth at home with the willow tree.
Yeah, and a doula and a willow tree.
Yeah, which was the most horrible thing. And then people laughed, right?
Yeah.
So he's now saying it was taken out of context. Who knows, right? But even the fact that even something alluded to that was just horrible, right? So I think today we just wanted to, really just hit on that it's your body, your choice. You get to choose how you birth. You want to birth at home. Mm-hmm. You want to birth with a midwife, without a midwife. You want to go to a birth center, to a hospital, whatever. That's your choice. And you and your partner's choice, right? Ultimately. So who are we to care? Right. And to label you as a birth brat.
Yeah. And I think that's really gendered and really problematic too, because of someone with a penis who was making a decision about his health would not have been given any hardship about that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, that just comes down to just how the world is a lot of the time, right? That we're just supposed to listen to whoever's telling us. Doesn't have to be a male, right? Maybe a female OB. I've had so many mommies that have been told just things that when we talk about it, I'm like, do you feel like that's true? You should have a C-section because your baby's big, or you should have a C-section because blah, 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 and it's do you feel like that's true?
Yeah.
You know, and then just being able to be heard out, which we've talked about how many times on videos about just having a practitioner that listens to you, right?
I do think that providers have a responsibility, and this is something I think about a lot in terms of informed consent. Yeah. Like, I think anything that we do in my office is always something that you are consenting to, and I have to give you it's my ethical obligation to give you all of the information about that.
Right.
So all of the good things, I will always tell you, like, this is what I think I can get from this type of exam, this procedure or whatever, this intervention, what we're doing. These are the risks. These are the possible rewards. What do you think about it? Is there anything that you know that I don't know that you think should help me make this decision? Yeah. And that, for whatever reason, is so unusual in the medical field.
Right.
It's
especially
terrible.
Surrounding birth.
Especially surrounding birth.
Yeah, because like you might see the benefit of doing an internal exam. You're going to explain what the heck that exam looks like, might feel like, and what the benefits are. Whereas you're just supposed to go into a hospital and you're not, like, they don't even tell you they're going to check you. It's just, they may like go, oh, I'm going to check you, as they're already inserting fingers, you know, and just how that in itself, I mean, it's not that maybe at that point in time you need to go through this laundry list, because I hope as a birthing mother that you've maybe looked into what the benefits of all these different procedures are, and then that way you can say no right away or yes, but at least an ask, right?
Yeah, and so I was reading some articles about that in general, and in general in the medical field, we're not super great about consent, and exactly like what we're talking about in terms of birthing and like birth consent during delivery, consent during procedures. Sometimes things get crazy. It's an emergent situation. Like, there are things that have to be done, and sometimes that's out of our hands. Right, and that's a completely different situation, right?
Yes.
But we also, so there were all of these things about, like, do you actually have to have a surgical check while you're in labor? Like, that can be very challenging and emotional for people, and they're feeling like birth is happening to them instead of them being part of the birth process. Yeah. And so I love that Meghan Markle had a doula. I recommend all of my clients get doulas if you're currently pregnant, because the job of that doula, they have so many jobs. I love doulas. They're amazing. But a big job in that moment is to know what the mama's birth wishes are, the person who's delivering what their birth wishes are, and to help carry them out, because it's really unfair if you want to have a certain type of delivery and then you are pushing for a period of time and you're tired and you're upset, and then a doc is like, who also happens to have their own agenda and wants to see their own things happen. Right. Like, oh, we could keep doing this for an hour and a half, or we could do a C-section that'll take 30 minutes or whatever, you know, or an induction or anything else. And that's really not a fair time for you to give consent to that. And it's super helpful to have a doula there to be able to be your health advocate and to really check in with you, someone you already have a relationship with, who is going to help you navigate that. And I think that's super, super important, and I just love everything about that. I think everyone, like I said, I think everyone should have a doula if you're going to deliver. I think it's great.
I think in any medical procedure you need a doula.
I know, right? Like, can I just have a patient advocate that's here who knows all my wishes and what I want, and can do that for me when I'm like not, you know, not really capable or wanting to do that for myself.
And I think really, you know, it's one of those times in your life that, you know, any other surgery, a lot of times you would ask a ton of questions. Not everybody does, but a lot, you know, you're getting an ankle surgery. You're going to ask about, like, what's recovery? What's this? What's this? What's that? What's that? With birth, it's like, some of the providers, it's like, God forbid you even ask me, like, you want delayed cord clamping or something like that. Yeah. But I think the most powerful thing is just being educated. Mm-hmm. So we talk a lot about it in my Birth Fit prenatal class about what is this procedure, what the heck does it mean, and what are your choices? You know, like, what happens if you choose to do it? What if you don't do it? And that's just really empowerment in itself, right? Totally, 100%. Because I always tell my mommies, I feel like after treating 1,000 different mommies and all different birth outcomes, that it all boils down to the mommies that felt like at least they knew when they said, if they were asked, right? That's the first thing. But if they were asked, like, we want to do Pitocin, what do you think? Like, you've already had a little bit of education that even though you're birthing, you're not in the right mind or whatnot. It's just even knowing that, like, I've done everything else I can or whatnot, whatever it may be. It's just the birth outcome, even if it wasn't the natural vaginal delivery and ended in a C-section or whatnot, they just feel different about it. Yeah. You know?
I think that's such a great point. Just because your birth wishes don't go exactly the way you want them to doesn't mean you're going to in and of itself have a negative birth experience.
Right.
You can have a very well-supported birth experience that goes nothing like what you expected, but it's so important to feel like your healthcare provider is giving you options, is listening to what you want, and is on your team.
Yeah.
So here is your weekly reminder that you get to pick your healthcare providers, and if you don't like them, you get to pick new ones.
You can fire them.
Yes.
They work for you. Don't forget that. Even if they're like the only one on your insurance, you can still fire them and find somebody else. The other thing too that kind of to circle back a little bit about that, there was speculation. Did she have a home birth? Did she not? I just want to remind you all that just because you started at home and maybe you had to be transferred, that is not a failed home birth.
No.
You know, I thought it was so weird that, you know, everybody's like almost like if she was transferred, like, I told you, right? You know? Right. But it's all different experiences and different things. It's not a failed home birth because you had to transfer or whatnot. That means that you had a damn good midwife there saying like, you know what, I'm uncomfortable, something's not right, I'm transferring you. And that's how it should be, right? And then a good midwife is going to have an amazing relationship with different hospitals, and then they transfer you in and they get to still help you through your care. So it's not it shouldn't be a negative thing. Yes. Right? And I thought that was real, like, I was like, seriously? Come on.
I think that is a lot. So we give new moms such a hard time. People who just delivered such a hard time about, there's so much guilt about like how the delivery went, how people are raising children, like all these different things. And it was very interesting, I think, to see exactly where all that crap comes from, because then people who have delivered are made to feel like, you shouldn't. The feelings of guilt are then dismissed. So it's like really gaslighty, and it's not okay.
No.
So we're seeing it played out in the media very much, and so just a reminder that like it is okay if you feel those ways. If you feel ways that you wish you didn't, you're not crazy for feeling that way. You're not, and you didn't do anything wrong in the way that you delivered. So just like being affirming, and we can be affirming all day, and it's not the same as you being affirming to yourself, but highly recommend, considering that in just the way you think about your birth and delivery.
Right. And
parenting.
And some people, I don't know, we kind of live in a society too that, yes, I am very grateful that I had a healthy, happy little dude, but that's like all your outcome. And that if you're feeling a certain way about birth, that how dare you? Like, how dare you are upset that you had to have Pitocin when you wanted all natural delivery or ended in a C-section, blah, blah, blah. It's like thank goodness there is more awareness on mom's mental health and everything like that. But even the littlest change in a hope for birth can really affect somebody. So like that also with that is like, if you're feeling a certain way, even if everybody's telling like, oh, that's nothing or whatnot, talk to somebody. Right. That we have some great, especially in the Denver area, we have some great support groups. We have some great mental care providers that will come to you, so you don't have to leave your house, if you're just feeling a certain way. But it's okay if, if something that may be minor in who else's point of view, if it's not that, you to reach out to talk to somebody for sure, because that manifests, right? So we don't want any mommy suffering, and even even if you just need to talk about your story, a lot of times that
process
is,
that.
100% to somebody that is unbiased, really doesn't care about like the outcome and doesn't care about, what am I trying to say? Like
it's objective.
Yes, exactly. It's just listening to be listening and help you work through it, right? It doesn't have to be necessarily a mental health provider, but it could be, right?
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that,
right? And if your birth wishes didn't go the way that you wanted to, and you ended up with a healthy baby, but you still have feelings about the way you delivered, it is totally fine to mourn the experience that you wish you had, or that you wanted to have and you didn't get to have. Right. Totally fine, totally valid. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't let anyone else tell you need to feel guilty about that, because that's crap. Right. It goes both folds, right? And whatever happened, you definitely need to work through it, especially if you're not going to have any more, but just in general, you definitely want to take the time to process all of that, the good and the bad and the whatever. Right? Yeah, all of it. Yeah, so, exactly. Thanks for hanging out with us on Thursday, and go sign up to be that birth brat. Yeah. Bye, guys.
I'm going to make a shirt that says that. I am a birth brat.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hashtag birth brat, perhaps.
Yes, exactly. Let's do that. We're going to make millions, people. All right, you guys. So we'll try our best. I'm going to be out of town the end of next week, so we'll try our best to get on Tuesday. If you have any topics, you let us know. I see you, Maya, and I see you, Samantha. So if you've got both a great pediatric pregnancy acupuncturist and a great midwife here locally in Denver. But if you guys have any topics, let us know. Otherwise, we'll just pick our favorites and keep yapping about it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
All right, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.